Hey everybody, I'm Sports Director Jason Barr here at K-Gun. We're at the sports office and we're on Facebook Live because we just have some big news right now, and that's that Wildcat junior quarterback Anu Solomon has announced his intention to transfer to another school, and it is confirmed by the U of A, so it's going to happen. Anu Solomon, who just had that fantastic freshman season, as we look at some video of him, this is video from 2015 against Utah, and you know, he had a great year as a freshman in 2014 when he took the team to the Fiesta Bowl, and great stats last year as well. And you know, late in the year, kind of made a couple of mistakes, but still a solid year. They go to the New Mexico Bowl. This year, Wildcats started out with that rough loss in Week 1 at University of Phoenix Stadium. They were taking on BYU, and he played that game and lost. And then after that, he got hurt the next week in practice, and he never really kind of got back on the field for any length of time. And it just seems like Rich Rodriguez, the head coach, kind of wants to go in the direction of Brandon Dawkins, who was a sophomore this year, who played even when Anu got healthy. And you know, Anu's got one more season left of eligibility, and I think he probably wants to go somewhere where he is going to play a little bit more. So he had a long statement on Instagram, you know, where he thanks Greg Byrne and he thanks Rich Rodriguez, and you know, he says all the right things, but he wants to play his senior season elsewhere. So, you know, in a way, it's kind of sad because here's a guy who just, you know, had such a great start at the U of A, and you know, as a redshirt freshman, he's taking this team, you know, to the Fiesta Bowl. They had that 10-win season, and to think it's kind of gone downhill so fast in the last few months, you know, is a little bit disappointing. But, you know, from the Wildcats' point of view, yes, they have Brandon Dawkins, but they also have Khalil Tate, who played this year as a true freshman, and they also have Braxton Burmeister, who's going to be a freshman coming next year. He's a 4-star recruit from La Jolla, California, broke all types of San Diego passing records, and they got some other quarterbacks coming in, including Rich Rodriguez's son. You know, nobody's really sure how much of a prospect, you know, he is. So, yes, Arizona's got lots of quarterbacks. Rich Rodriguez says he likes to collect quarterbacks, but, you know, from my point of view, I think it's a little sad that, you know, what a great start and for it to kind of end this way. But hopefully for Anu Solomon's case, you know, he goes on to bigger things and he has a good year next year. You know, if he has graduated, he can have a situation where he doesn't have to sit out a year and he can be a graduate transfer. So my guess in a situation like this is that the university would let him, you know, transfer to another school that maybe the Wildcats wouldn't play next year. So we have to find out if there's restrictions. So maybe U of A kind of grants him his release, but says, okay, but you can't go to another Pac-12 school, or you can't go to, I don't know, Houston, who they play next year, you know, a team for next year. So we might have see that type of situation, and who knows, maybe he goes to UNLV because that's where he's from. So that about wraps it up. You know, our big news here at K-Gun 9. And you know, before I say goodbye, there is actually one other big piece of news for the U of A football team. This is kind of overshadowing right now, and that's Scooby Wright. The Cardinals are about to sign him off the Cleveland Browns practice squad. He was a 7th-round pick by the Browns, and the NFL rules state that you can sign somebody off another team's practice squad. So the Cardinals look like they're going to do that. So we are going to have an ex-U of A-er up in Glendale next year. All right, so that about wraps it up from the sports office here. Thanks for bearing with our lighting. That's not as good as in the studio. And I'm Jason Barr. Well, much more. And you should tune in, please, at 5, 6, 9, and 10 on K-Gun 9. And I'll also be up doing sportscasts for ESPN Tucson, our radio station. That's our sister station upstairs. Again, I'm Jason Barr. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at 5, 6, and 10.